Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier has announced a criminal investigation into OpenAI and its chatbot, ChatGPT, following a deadly shooting at Florida State University. The investigation was launched after reviewing chat logs between the accused gunman, 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and ChatGPT. The probe focuses on whether OpenAI holds criminal culpability in the incident. The investigation focuses on the potential risk AI poses to public safety and minors. The subpoenas to be issued by the Attorney General's office is in regards to OpenAI's actual AI technology. Here's the Florida Attorney General at a news conference.
This morning, we're announcing that we are launching a criminal investigation into OpenAI and ChatGPT, and will be sending criminal subpoenas to OpenAI probably right now. As you know, a couple weeks ago, we announced that we had begun an investigation. For months now, we've been looking at several harms that Floridians, Americans have been suffering as a result of ChatGPT. We've seen increases in self-harm and suicides by kids using this platform. We have seen individuals use this platform to engage in criminal activity, such as child pornography. And then most recently, as we announced a couple of weeks ago, we have been looking into the recent FSU shooting and that shooter's communications with ChatGPT. Now, that communication and our review of that communication has revealed that a criminal investigation is necessary. Technology, AI, is supposed to support mankind. It is supposed to help mankind. It is supposed to advance mankind, not end it. And unfortunately, what we've seen in our initial review is that ChatGPT offered significant advice to the shooter before he committed such heinous crimes. The communication between the shooter and ChatGPT revealed that the chatbot advised the shooter on what type of gun to use, on which ammo went with which gun, on whether or not a gun would be useful in short range. ChatGPT advised the shooter on what time of day would be appropriate for the shooting to interact with more people, and where on campus would be the place to encounter a higher population. My prosecutors have looked at this, and they've told me if it was a person on the other end of that screen, we would be charging them with murder.
OpenAI spokeswoman Kate Waters called the FSU shooting a tragedy, but said the company had no responsibility. The company proactively shared information with law enforcement and continues to cooperate with investigators, she said on Tuesday. I use ChatGPT sometimes to analyze documents and such, so I decided to ask the chatbot to give its take on this situation with the Florida AG's plans to go after AI criminally. The only question I asked was, is this politically motivated? And the reason I asked that was, to see if the chatbot would have a slant towards the company that owns it. I mean, it probably hasn't been programmed to do that, but I just wanted to see. If nothing else, it would just be interesting to see what the chatbot, quote unquote, thinks. And the answer I got was twofold, with the second part being pretty interesting. Here's the answer.
In several clear ways. 1. Agenda alignment. Florida leadership has been signaling for a while skepticism of big tech influence, interest in regulating platforms and algorithms, willingness to take headline-grabbing legal stances. This case fits neatly into that lane. 2. High visibility timing. After a mass shooting, there's always pressure to show decisive action, expand accountability beyond the individual. Going after AI does two things politically. It demonstrates innovation in enforcement, signals toughness on emerging threats. 3. Narrative framing. That's not just legal positioning, that's public messaging. It reframes AI from a tool into a potential actor, which is a major conceptual shift. But it's not just politics. Let's keep it grounded. There is a legitimate issue underneath. AI systems can generate actionable, real-world guidance. In rare cases, that guidance may intersect with harmful intent actions. So the state is asking a real question. When does assistance become participation? That's not crazy. It's just legally uncharted territory.
So Chat GPT thinks there's something to this. So I'll stick with it. It's a developing story, and this is a significant move by a state official to go after an AI company on a criminal level, for actions taken by users of its technology. It will be pretty interesting to see how this plays out. Stay with the Plug Power Network.